hold it in your line. Okay, so that way you know when you have a nibble. You know, because you can feel the vibration of the line on your finger, and you know to set the hook. Okay, it's the same thing with the vaginal probe. I hold it like I put it in, but I hold my little finger here along that notch, and then I know when I've hit the bottom. I never push any harder than that. This is where I apply my pressure. This isn't how I apply my pressure. This is how I apply my pressure.
So you stop until you hit the surface?
I stop until I hit the cervix. Okay? And some people, I mean, the normal vagina is about 6 to 8 centimeters. Some are shorter, some are longer. I mean, that's just the average. Okay? So you have to be careful not to jam it in there, because then they're going to hurt, especially if they have PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. All of that down there hurts. Okay? They can't have sex. They can't put in a tampon. It hurts to even wipe. Okay? So hold it like this. So that way, it's a very, I just hold it in my hand like this. And this is my pressure, because it's lubricated. So it's going to slide in and out of the vagina very easily. Okay? If, and it does happen, if the woman starts making noises like she's enjoying it,
Is it happening?
yes, go and get someone else into the room. Just pull it out, say, I'll be back in just a minute, and go and get a chaperone. Don't say anything. But if she starts acting, what is the word, erroneously, just don't even hesitate. Just go and get a chaperone, because those people are weird. And you get weirdos, believe me, there are weirdos out there. Okay, but that was a good question.
That day I have a patient, I was alone with the patient, the technologist brought to do something, and she told me to prepare him and begin to make the sonography for him. And he was suspicious. He looked like he's drunk, and he have, what is the word? Tattoo everywhere, and they are afraid. I looked for a chaperone, I couldn't find.
Yeah.
There was no.
Then you go get another student.
I went to Sufyan, he couldn't. I went to Lawrence, she couldn't. And
Yeah.
I just
If you're
stayed.
uncomfortable doing anything, all you have to do is tell your technologist, I'm sorry, but I'm uncomfortable. Okay?
Yeah, I stayed
all you have to
outside.
do. Now, when you're a sonographer, you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, my son's covered in tattoos, and he's the sweetest boy I know.
No, but he.
So you can't by the way someone looks.
Yeah.
Mine is piercings on the face. That is just the one thing that I haven't accepted. It makes my stomach turn. And it's hard for me to be nice. I have to be very, very conscious of what I say and what I do,
Yeah.
because it's real easy for me to draw my own assumptions. You know, because why would you do that to your? I don't know. But everybody's got their own choices, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their own choices. It's not up to me to judge them. Okay. And chewing gum. And oh yeah.
Just the area for the cervix, the angle, what's the name?
Oh, the cervix.
Yeah.
Okay. The cervix,
No.
external os,
No, the angle.
internal os.
In the corner?
The fornices.
For,
Yeah,
for,
These are fornix.
corners.
These are fornix. Remember, we've got 4 of them.
Mhm.
It's where God put something round and something flat. He had to make darts. That's the easiest way to describe it.
So you mean for one here, and 2
You
at
have
the
2
back?
anterior, 2 posterior.
Ah.
Because the posterior vagina is longer than the anterior vagina. The posterior vaginal wall is longer than the anterior vaginal wall. Okay. That we get. Okay. Uterus. Let's go over the layers again. The perimetrium or the serosa, the myometrium, endometrium, the zona functionalis, and the zona basalis. Okay? The zona basalis is next to the myometrium. The zona functionalis is closest to the canal. Let's talk about ligaments. The broad ligament is like encased. Everything in my uterus is encased in my broad ligament. Okay? The ovaries are attached to the back. Okay? My uterus, my fallopian tubes are all in here. Okay? My ovaries are here in the attached to the back.
So the ovary is retroperitoneal, or pre.
It's in the peritoneal cavity. Okay?
Yeah.
The front of it is protected by the broad ligament. The back side of it is not protected. That's why we get ectopics. Okay? So the meso-ovarian, that's the area of the broad ligament that covers the anterior ovary. The mesosalpinx, that covers the fallopian tubes. The mesometria, that covers the uterus. The round ligament, it attaches the fundus to the labia majoris. It holds it in the forward position, anteverted, anteflexed. The cardinal ligament, because we have to have good support for the cervix, because the cervix is what holds the baby in there. Okay? Without my cervix, my uterus can't hold the baby. Okay? Because gravity would just have it come right out. So you have the cardinal ligament and you have the uterosacral ligament. Those are the 2 ligaments that support the cervix. The 2 that hold the ovary in place are the suspensory ligament, also called the infundibulo pelvic ligament, and the ovarian ligament. This is medial, this is lateral. These are the different shapes and these are the different positions of the uterus. We never know. You can start and it'll be anteverted, and by the time you finish, it'll be retroverted. And by the time you finish it again, it's anteverted again. So they're very, very mobile. Okay? They're very, very mobile.
Within the pregnancy or within the life? The uterus change.
Yeah, these are the different positions of the uterus.
I mean, during the pregnant?
Yeah, I mean, I can get pregnant with any of these.
Within the scan, she said.
Yeah, while I'm doing the scan. Because if my round ligament is stretched, then my uterus is going to flop around in there.
So for that, the baby changed the position?
No, once the baby's in there, it doesn't change position.
No, she says sometimes it's a bridge position, and after that.
Oh, that has nothing to do with the uterus. That's just all baby. Yeah, that's all baby. So the newborn. This is the newborn uterus size, a 4-year-old size. Puberty. What is puberty? Once they start developing hair and breast. Okay, that's called puberty. Nulliparous. They have never been pregnant. Nulliparous. They've never been pregnant. Multiparous. They've been pregnant multiple times. Postmenopausal, because I don't have the hormones anymore. then my ovaries are gonna atrophy like a raisin, and so will my uterus, because now my endometrium is no longer going back and forth and back and forth, so they're going to start atrophy. These are just the different positions. This is a retroflexed uterus. Here's my retroflexed, retroverted. It's kind of hard to tell because I don't see the cervix really well. So right here is bowel. See the air? It's bright white. I can't see anything on there because what happens, ultrasound can't travel through air. That's why ultrasound is not good for abdominal work, like for intestines and stuff. Anteverted, anteverted, anteverted. This little black thing right here you see, that's called a Nabothian cyst. It's a normal cyst that anybody that is sexually active gets. Okay? Anybody gets it. This is free fluid in the posterior cul-de-sac. This is the anterior cul-de-sac. This is the posterior cul-de-sac. Because I'm in transverse, my endometrium looks like this. If I'm in sagittal, my endometrium looks like this. If I'm in sagittal, my endometrium looks like this. If I'm in sagittal, my endometrium looks like this. Okay?
So you say the seed in picture D is normal?
This,
The seed?
yeah, that's a normal cyst. Anybody that's sexually active, they have those cysts. They're usually anechoic, but they can bleed and be hemorrhagic. But most of the time, they're just an anechoic cyst. We do not measure them unless they're really, really big. Okay? So anterior uterus, posterior uterus. Let's go back. Anterior uterus, posterior uterus. Because it's retro, it's still the same. I mean, this is anterior, this is posterior. Okay, but if this was like laying like a C, this would be posterior, this would be anterior. Okay? These, the endometrium is a very, very thin line. Postmenopausal, because it is not responsible for the hormones put out in our body, then the endometrium is just a thin line. Proliferative, it's getting big. Secretory is the biggest. The proliferative, we have the 3-line sign, and secretory, we have posterior enhancement. It looks like it's very, very fluffy looking because the amount of blood that's inside the endometrium.
Can you go back, please? The second one, the
Postmenopausal, days of the cycle, I don't know what that means because
yeah.
because postmenopausal,
That's
you can, postmenstrual.
Menstrual.
So thank you, postmenstrual, days 6 to 9, it can be echogenic. Some people are still bleeding during those ages, so you can see debris in there. Okay, and then it keeps getting bigger because of estrogen. Estrogen comes from my follicles. Okay, and now at this point in time, luteinizing hormone has said let go of the follicle, let go of the egg. And so now my corpus luteum is putting out progesterone, and progesterone is making the endometrium really, really thick so it can support a baby. Yes.
If a person is postmenopausal, I mean, they have fibroids, can it cause them to bleed?
Yes, it's the number one reason for bleeding postmenopausal is fibroids.
But you don't remove them though, right?
Some women do.
Okay.
They're more prevalent in African Americans, and a lot of times they will have a myomectomy so they can get pregnant, because with the hormones of pregnancy, fibroids tend to grow.